Hey team, I'm excited to share this episode with you today. In today's episode, we'll be clocking in with my friend Nikki, where she gives us all the ups and downs of what it's like being a flight attendant. Nikki, thanks for coming on to today's show.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up, we have Super Bowl weekend. Do you follow any of that stuff?
Actually, no, and it's so bad because I'm so stupid. I'm working this weekend, and I had this trip, and I saw this trip pop in, and I didn't even register that the Super Bowl was in New Orleans.
Nala.
I don't know. And so
I also didn't know that.
I had this trip, and I was looking at it, and it's just this trip kept like nobody wanted to work it, and I was like, oh my god, it's not a bad trip. Like I'll take it. And I was looking closer at it, and I was like, why does nobody? It makes you stop to think, like, why does nobody want this trip? There's something wrong with it. And then I put it together that it was in New Orleans the weekend of Super Bowl.
It's gonna be crazy.
And the Saturday, so it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday trip. That Saturday, one leg you had to work Vegas to New Orleans. Oh my God. Like, that's just a flight you don't want to work, man.
Oh, because everybody's rowdy.
Everybody's going to be drunk.
Vegas to New Orleans.
Correct.
Oh, wow. So you're already starting off messed up.
You're
Nice.
starting off on a bad foot and you're going to end on a worse foot.
Yeah.
And then it's your hotel that you stay at downtown. The hotel that we normally stay at was apparently where one of the teams was staying.
Oh,
So
wait,
now-
that's kind of sick.
Well, no, you're not going to stay there anymore because now
Oh.
you're going to go to a different hotel, probably a worse hotel.
Oh, yeah, true.
And so I stopped and it hit me like a freight train. And I said, I got to get out of here. And so now I'm going to Denver.
Oh, okay. Wait, this weekend?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so that's for work. So I got out of it. Thank you, God.
Mm.
It's one of those trips that really tests mind, body, and spirit.
I've never really followed football, so I just learned that the Eagles were playing, and I guess I also didn't know the Chiefs were playing. So, nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really follow football much,
Same.
but I just know that I don't want to be in town where there's a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Was there one this last year?
Was there a Super Bowl this last year?
In Arizona.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to
Sorry.
say like in general.
In general, I think it's yearly, right?
It is yearly.
Oh,
No.
nice. It's an annual event. Sick. My favorite's the Super Bowl parties. It's like I'll crush some wings, you know.
I was going to ask you what the best Super Bowl appetizer is.
What's your all right?
Buffalo chicken dip
Buffalo chicken dip
or deviled eggs.
I crush deviled eggs.
Like you crush them, eat them, or you crush them when you make them.
I guess I don't really make them.
Okay, so the answer is you.
I'm more of a consumption guy right now than.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Honestly, same.
What? Wait. Do you have any? Oh, you're working this weekend.
I'm working. Well, no, I'm off on Sunday now.
Oh, okay, nice.
That was another perk that I got off. And so my best friend lives in Denver, so she's gonna come hang out with me at the hotel tomorrow.
Sick.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So it's a win all around. But no, Sunday, I don't know. I'm gonna try to finagle my way into someone's Super Bowl party.
Oh, cool.
Just gotta put feelers out there. I don't know who.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there though.
It's cool.
Steve,
Yeah.
what are you enlisting for Super Bowl?
Oh wow, that's crazy. Wow. No, we're going over to Elizabeth's parents' house and then, yeah.
Turn up.
Yeah. Something that I was actually thinking about before this was like, it's crazy how long we've known each other.
Yeah, 14? No.
2009, 2010, something like that. We've had some like pretty like crazy.
We would have been sophomores.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, sophomores. So how old is that? 15? So 15 years.
15 years. That's crazy. I don't even think we had a class together.
No, we just had mutual friends.
And we were just like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I remember we would do like late night driving and like, oh my God. I have it written down that like, I remember we went over to your parents' house. Nobody was home. And like, we were drinking Four Locos or something like that.
And
Do you
that-
remember that?
Yes.
I kind of remember that.
And
but
that's when Four Locos were still like
legal.
okay, no, they're still legal now, but that's when they were made like they were engineered to kill you.
Oh, cool.
And so they called it blackout in a can because
Bro, you
Yeah.
remember this?
yeah,
Blackout in a
before I
can.
blacked out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're like, I read the can.
Yeah. I read the can before I blacked out. And no, that was back before they had to reformulate it to make it legal. So it tasted like carburetor fluid.
Oh, cool.
Not that I've tasted carburetor fluid, but I could imagine if you put like watermelon Kool-Aid mix into carburetor fluid
Nice.
and then added some Everclear.
Oh, cool.
That's probably what it probably is.
I wonder if we.
We
Oh,
had a watermelon one. I think
that
I don't
was
know what
cool.
flavor you had.
I don't remember either. But I was just like, I remember going
was
through
so
the
good.
fridge and being like, this is so sick.
Yeah, no, my parents would go out of town, and yeah, it was us. We would like hang out. Well, there was other people there
Right.
in our friend group. But good times, man.
That's crazy.
Four Locos. Who would have bought those for us?
Oh,
We're not going to incriminate anybody.
right,
But
true. Yeah. Oh,
true.
wait, if it's older than 15 years, then
What is the statute of limitations?
I couldn't even.
Probably my sister.
Probably. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, actually.
But no, 15 years. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm eternally like 23 years old.
Yeah.
In my mind, I don't register that I'm 30.
Damn, you're 30.
Shut up. What are you, 29?
Yeah. We still have. Do you know when my birthday is?
It's in the summertime.
Wow.
It's June.
Wow.
June 13th.
Oh my God, you locked in. That's crazy.
Is that it? Was I right?
Exactly.
Yes.
I remember you threw me like the birthday party. You threw me a birthday party at my parents' house for my 16th birthday. And
This one's even tapping into something I don't remember.
yeah, we ordered za and all these things and nobody showed up.
Oh.
Like it was just us.
Oh my God.
But we bought like 5 pizzas and stuff and it was cool. But it was the thought
I
that counts.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Oh
Yep.
my God.
So-
What a good time that was.
That was a good time.
Maybe I blacked that out.
Yeah. After the Four Locos.
After the Four Loco. Yeah, was that before or after a Four Loco? The
Literally.
party? Oh,
Yeah,
Steve.
I know. Yeah, it was actually kind of sad, but I don't
Maybe
think we
that's-
marketed it. So
That's so true.
I think we kind of just did it and then it was like, oh wait, we didn't tell anybody.
Because you were pretty popular. You were well liked.
I think we were all pretty well known. I mean, we're pretty big personalities.
I think I was a little more underrated. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I was
But-
okay in high school. Whatever.
High school. I like to tell people I peaked in high school, so yeah.
I think I'm peaking right now, actually.
Oh my God, I love that for you.
I think I'm peaking at age 30.
Yes. You're hitting your stride. We got Cleo.
We got Cleo. We're traveling a lot.
Yes.
We're newly single. We're doing it.
Wow. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't talk much after high school, but I guess we kind of did like throughout like social media and stuff. I think that
Yeah.
I think I use social media like correctly in the sense that like I do try to keep up with people,
Yeah.
but like and I think that's fine.
I think, well, I agree. I don't know. I don't use social media like vlogging and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't try to like advertise myself. There's nothing wrong with people that do that. But I like to see what other people are doing and keep up with them. And
Yeah.
it's fun. You keep in contact with people.
Exactly.
It's nice. I don't like influencers and stuff. I don't.
That's a tough thing. And yeah, me entering this new journey, I'm kind of like not entirely sure what
I think
the depths of this is going to be because the goal is to not be an influencer guy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of like,
well,
but I do like to talk, and so I was kind of like, oh, let's try this thing.
well, do influencers like really talk? I don't know. I work with a lot of people
Oh my
who
God.
try to become influencers, and it's
TikTok
like
dancer things.
not TikTok dancers, not even, but it's just like a lot of people that I work with because of the field that we're in. I think a lot of people are interested in like our daily life, like what we do at work, our overnights, and things like that. But at the end of the day, not all of it's very interesting. And so we're passing out snacks, and I'm working with someone who's like, load up snack bin. And they're filming us, and I'm like,
We're just loading.
I'm like,
up
it's
snacks.
7 a.m., dude. Please get out of my face.
That's
I don't
so
want. I'm
funny.
not doing that right now. But they're using social media to just advertise how well they pass out snacks.
You're a flight stewardess, attendant,
You can call me an aisle donkey if you want.
aisle
No, I'm
donkey.
just
Wow,
kidding.
I was like, oh my God.
No, I'm a flight attendant. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it's called. Okay, cool. That's actually something that I find like really interesting in the sense that it's kind of like it's a role that I've never really considered, or like I don't really even know much about what being a flight attendant is. Like how long have you been a flight attendant?
I'll have my 5.5 year anniversary in
Whoa.
this month actually.
Oh, cool. Congrats. Wait, 5.5?
5.5, but I mean technically, so 6 will be in August.
Okay.
My actual hire date, your hire date's when the day you pass training. So mine was August 17th of 2019.
Okay, gotcha.
So August, September, October, November, December, January, February. It's 5.5 years.
Okay.
So no, I love it.
Uh-huh.
It's honestly when I applied, I didn't even think, I never even considered it. I don't
Yeah.
know. I got my degree in accounting.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, did you have to go to school for this?
Oh no. Well, you have to go to training for 4 weeks, which looking back on it,
4 weeks. Okay.
4 weeks, okay. But hear me out. Do you ever look back on things that you've done, like training or like school or any type of qualification you had to do to get somewhere and think, wow, that was horrible, but I did it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever do you feel like that way about anything?
Yeah, often. Yeah. I
I
yeah.
Yeah, so I look back like school, like tests and things like that. But so the
So
training for
hard,
four
yeah.
weeks was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably the hardest month of my life. I swear to God, it was uh, like boot camp. I feel like I was in the Navy or something. I'm just kidding. That's dramatic. But it was so, yeah, it was 4 weeks of hardcore training, weird hours, and on top of that, the building was very cold.
Mm.
I don't know
Like
why I remember
jacket
that.
cold or
Yes,
wow.
I think they do it to keep you awake.
Like a parka type thing or no, I'm
Light,
just
light down,
Oh,
light
okay.
down. Yeah,
Okay.
it'd be heavy fleece.
Nice. It's like lined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lined like fleece lined.
Okay, gotcha.
But extremely cold in that building, and it was just up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm not a morning person.
Hmm.
But no, it was 4 weeks.
4:30?
Yeah, all kinds of crazy weird hours.
What like why?
Because your whole day of training is like 10 hours.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that was the only training I really had to do.
Okay.
And then a lot of it though is in the field. Like you can only learn so much in a classroom,
Yeah.
but then when you're actually like on the plane, you start to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another beast of its own. But
What
here I am.
what was like training like in like I've talked to some friends who were trying to become flight attendants as well and they were saying the same thing. There's training. Do
Mhm.
you know if that's like is that like an FAA standard thing or is it like by company?
FAA standard, you do have to do, I think, at least a month of classroom training, but it also depends. Like the airline that I work for, we only have basically two main types of aircraft.
Mm,
So if you were to work at like, let's just say Delta, who
okay.
has Delta has, I don't even know how many aircraft they have, but they have wide bodies.
Mm,
What's a narrow body? I don't even know the opposite of a wide
okay,
body.
cool.
But when you have to get certain qualifications
For
on
like
each
different
type of
fuselages.
aircraft.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So we only have two, so a month was ours.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
Delta, I think Delta's is at least 6 weeks.
Mm.
It might be 7.
Oh, so it's like added on top of
Don't quote me on that.
the FAA
Yeah, the FAA.
or whatever. Like
Yeah, I think FAA
okay,
minimum might be like 4 weeks.
okay.
I'm not sure. I think pretty generally across the board, though, it's at least 4 weeks. And then for a major carrier, it might be more just
Mm.
because you have different types of aircraft, like Boeing and Airbus, you have to
Yep.
learn versus I'm just Boeing. You know?
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Does every like person who goes through the training are they all selected or is there like or like yep you passed you're in type
So
thing?
there's proficiencies. Are you saying like to actually get into training or to actually pass training?
Let's say past training.
Past training, there's proficiencies you have to do.
Mm.
So every
Oh, I see.
week we had 2 major tests, and then also like you get tested on equipment. So one day you'll learn, okay, here's firefighting procedures,
Mm.
and you get tested on all the equipment that you have to do for firefighting. Okay, what do you do in this situation? What do you do in this situation? And so they put you in these proficiencies, and they see how well you know the equipment and what to do, and then they can fail you or they can pass you. They usually are trying to, they don't want to fail anybody, but if you just really don't know what to do, they'll fail you out.
Mm. I see.
So I think from my class, 4 people didn't make it out of a group of 45.
Okay,
45 and 4 didn't make it.
gotcha. So like 10% or some whatever that amount is. Okay, I see. Oh, okay, gotcha. And like when you're so now you've been working for 5.5 years. Do you have to do like renew training?
Yes, you have to do recurrent every single. I actually just did mine,
Okay.
so it's every single year you have to go in
Nice, makes sense.
and just keep up to date um, with equipment, and then new. The FAA is always changing stuff, so you just go in and you learn new rules, new policies. It's yeah, same thing every year. Not same thing every year, but pretty much.
Jumping into like your day to day, what is like how long are your hours? Like what is that like?
Um,
4:30 a.m.
so I do my very best to try to work nighttime. I'm a night owl. I always have been. Um, when I was brand new, though, when you are brand new, you really don't have much say in your schedule. So, and also I was based in Oakland. So I had to fly to Oakland to even start work. And then you'd start being on call. There's like different levels of being on call. It's all my line of work's all seniority based.
Okay.
So the more seniority you get, the better your schedule is. So when you're brand new, you're bottom of the barrel. I would,
Do your
yeah,
time.
you do your time for real. And so I would be getting called at 2:30 in the morning sometimes, and to go to work at 4:30, and I'd have to work a 10-hour day, an 11-hour day. But now being, honestly, 5.5 years is still pretty junior by airline standards. But now I can at least have a little bit of say. Like they can't even call me until 10 a.m.
You say that. You're like, "Hey, phone's
Yeah,
off till 10."
phone's off till 10.
Wow.
But there's times where I can switch into, like, let's say for scheduling purposes, I need to be done with work earlier. I can switch into a shift where I'm on call starting at 3, but then I'm going to be done with work by at least, or at the latest 5 p.m.
Mm. Wait, is
So
that 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. or 3
3
a.m.?
a.m.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but they
So is
can't
that 12, 14 hours? Okay.
but that's also being on call. So there's a chance they might not even call me and I get paid to stay
Mm.
home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is it like a not one-to-one rate or is it like a portion?
For
If that
getting
makes sense.
paid,
For not being working.
you get paid 6.5 hours per day.
Okay, gotcha.
So you get paid, it's kind of, it could be considered not fair in that sense, but if you could be on call for 12 hours, but you get paid to sit at home.
Yep.
And then if you actually do get paid to go into work, you get paid the greater. So let's say
Oh, I see.
exactly. So if I got called into work and I had to work a 9-hour day, I'll get paid my 9 hours.
Mm.
But if I sit at home, I'll get paid 6.5.
Okay.
It's a gamble. A lot of people gamble, but that's also being on call. If I have a trip, like an actual, I printed out like my trip to Denver tomorrow,
Mhm.
I know exactly what I'm doing. It's not on call. I know what time I have to be at the airport at. So there's trips and there's reserve. Trips are better than reserve, but putting in your time, everybody has to sit reserve at some point.
So each week is different.
Yes, I never have the same month ever.
Interesting.
I never
Okay.
know my schedule. I design my schedule,
Mm-hmm.
which rocks.
Nice.
I'm bringing back rocks, by the way. Like, I'd love to say
that rocks.
that rocks.
I'm in.
I'm like, this trip rocks.
Yeah.
People go, did you get that from your mom? I'm like, no, I'm just bringing back rocks.
Yeah.
It's a good term.
Is that from the 80s?
Yes.
Oh, cool. What? That's so funny. So, like, what does it mean when the crew has hit their hours? So, is it like truck driving where it's like you have like 14 hours that you can drive in a day or something like that? So, because I've been delayed a lot because of a crew switch because the crew hit their hours, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. So I think so pilots more so what you probably were encountered was the pilots timing out.
Mm.
The pilots have far more strict standards than what we have. Like I know flight attendants who've had like 17-hour days before.
Wow.
You get paid handsomely for anything past I want to say it's 13 hours. I luckily haven't been there too many times before.
Mm.
I think the most I've had to work is the worst day I've had to work was like 13 hours.
Mm.
But I know some people that have gotten severely delayed because weather, mechanicals, or this or that. But what you probably it's less common for flight attendants to time out than it is for pilots to time out.
Gotcha.
For the pilots to time out, if the wheels aren't up by a certain time, they have to get pulled.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so if the front door isn't shut by a certain time or the wheels aren't up or certain things aren't going to be met, then per the FAA, they have to get off that
Right.
aircraft. It'd be illegal for them to not to work it.
Do you like follow a certain crew or pilot, or is it literally all independent? It's like, hey, I saw this opening in the scheduling system. I'm gonna pick this one, and then whoever I'm with, I'm with.
Exactly
Oh,
that. So you never work with you can work with the same people
you
a few
coordinate with your
times.
friends, and you're like, hey,
I
let's
actually
take these.
I buddy bid.
Oh, buddy bin.
Yeah, buddy
That
bid. So I
rocks.
buddy bid. It does rock.
Yeah,
But so I buddy bid with my friend next month. So she and I got a line all together. So when you fly with friends, I
it's so
will
much more
say it's
fun.
so much more fun.
Oh,
It's like
nice.
it's just like working with your friend. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
It's but then on there are times though where you work with people who you know
Oh,
you
I'm
just
tracking. You're
you
like,
hate them
I'm not vibing with
you
you right
hate
now.
them and you can't escape them
Oh wow.
for 3 days.
Oh, 3 days.
Okay, I usually work 3-day trips.
Oh,
But you could like just work a turnaround with somebody or work 2 days, or you could work a 4-day.
wait. How does multi-day work then?
How does multi-day work?
Like what? Like what do you mean by a 3-day?
We get scheduled typically 3 days at a time. So it's a 3-day trip, meaning that on day one, I check in. I'm going to overnight somewhere. I'm going to work overnight. Day two, I'm going to work overnight somewhere else. And then day three, I'm going to work and then go home.
Hmm.
So a 3-day is equivalent to spending the night somewhere twice. A 2-day is just going to spend the night somewhere and come back. And then a turnaround is just,
Same day. I'm back home.
I just
same
worked
day.
a turnaround yesterday. I just went to Cabo.
Cabo.
Yeah.
Wait, that's lit.
I was in Cabo for an
That
hour.
rocks.
Woo, Cabo rocks,
Okay,
man.
nice. Yeah.
What did rock was there was only 33 people coming back.
Oh,
So
perfect.
it was an empty flight.
And that's a good thing.
I get paid the same.
To
If the
chill.
flight's full, if the flight's
Yeah.
empty, I sat and I ate a salad and I did Sudoku.
Oh, sick. So when you do a 3-day, that means like the people that you're with is also on that same schedule.
Yeah, it can switch up like in a perfect world on a 3-day trip, you'd
Mhm.
be the pilots always switch out for the most part. You're never really with the same pilots. You can be, but typically flight attendants, you'll stick with them all 3 days.
Gotcha.
So there's
I
like
see.
we all joke, like if you have a trip with someone and you love them, you'll never see them again. If you have a
Yeah.
trip with someone and you hate them, you'll work with them in a month.
Nice. It's the law, I think.
Yeah, it's the law.
I'm pretty sure it's written down somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You really dislike somebody, they're gonna show up often in your life.
My biggest op, it's so true.
My biggest op.
Like
literally.
work has me beefing with a woman named Susan.
And you're like,
She's my biggest op. And so
she drags me down.
we were beefing in Reno, and then I saw her in Vegas one time. I was like,
Did your ears start ringing? You're like, I'm
Yeah.
taking you down.
Yeah.
It's on site right now.
it is on site.
Literally. These hands don't have. I don't even.
That limits? I don't know.
They
Per
don't
the
have
FAA,
limits.
these hands. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Literally. That's so funny. Okay,
But-
gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's like, do you have the same coworkers that you see all the time?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Consistency?
Yeah, there's value in that consistency. Yeah.
I could see that.
Mhm.
Like, just knowing, do you have the same hours every day?
Yeah, pretty much.
See, that would cool. That probably would help me sleep better at night. But
yeah, I'm in a routine right now, and it's pretty nice. I enjoy that part.
what's that like?
Okay, so you're starting your day. What is like? All right, you wake up.
Okay, so in my perfect world, do you want me to like tell you my perfect scenario?
Break down the perfect scenario.
Okay, so my perfect scenario, my dream trip that I would work is I want to stay on the West Coast.
Okay.
I want to work PMs. I want to work PMs. PMs, West Coast, short flights. My ideal check-in time, and I frequently do work trips like this. I check in at the airport at like 2:30 p.m. So I wake up every day at 9. I like to at least. Wake up at 9, I work out, I get my food ready, I get my bag packed. I'm not rushed.
Mhm.
I get to the airport, I check in at 2:30, means I have to be on the plane by 3:30. I work like three-ish quick flights, like Phoenix to Sacramento to Salt Lake to San Diego.
And that's one day.
Yep.
Okay.
So typically you can work long hauls. I hate long hauls actually. I'm not even going to undersell it. I hate long hauls.
Nice.
I don't want to be on the same plane for 5 hours and one leg. it's too much for me. I love the passengers, but I want to get them on, get them off.
Mm-hmm.
Just quick turn and burn. And then overnight, let's say I overnight in San Diego. And
Nice.
so you go to your hotel. When you land, there's a van that picks you up, takes you to the hotel. If your crew's fun, you go get dinner with them, or you go out on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Do whatever you can do whatever you want. It's your hotel room. It's your time, but still you're on company time, so you have to behave appropriately. Next day, let's say I wake up at again. I try to stay consistent 9 o'clock, and then you can work out, or I might sleep in. I might go get lunch somewhere, and then I'm back to work again at like maybe noon, 1 p.m. Same thing, 3, 4 more flights. And then that's if you get the gist of like what my schedule is.
Mm-hmm.
I try to wake up, go to work around afternoon, and then on day 3, getting back to Phoenix, I'm done at like 10 p.m.
Okay. So that's like that's the 3.
That's a 3 day. That's typically what I work.
Okay, gotcha.
I do like to work 2 days, but I can't what's called hold them.
Mm,
So my seniority, I don't get assigned them too often.
I see.
But yeah, there are times though where I work morning trips and
So
whatever.
early.
It's so early. Like the East Coast, being in Indianapolis,
Mm.
there was
You're
one
also in Indianapolis. So.
Yeah. But there was a time where I was in Detroit, and my friend who worked at the restaurant, I had to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was 1 a.m. And she's like, I texted her, I was like, oh, so are we doing this today? And she's like, I haven't even gone to bed yet.
Oh, wow.
And it was 1 a.m. in Phoenix, and she was just getting off work. It made me sick. It
Yeah.
made me sick to my stomach to have to be on an aircraft and it's still dark, like in the morning. I don't
Kind
know.
of sad. That sounds sad.
It's sad.
When I get onto a plane in the mornings, I'm also sad. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
I'm drained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's too much. I'm not fully activated as a person until like noon.
Yeah, same.
And so what time do you have to wake up every day?
I've been trying this new thing where I wake up at like 5:30. Yeah, it's kind of the worst.
Disgusting.
Sometimes I wake up and I just like crush a 30-minute nap.
So that's sleep for 30 more minutes.
Or like I'll wake up, I'll move to the couch and I'll try to read and then I'm like,
Nice. Why would you read?
What?
Wouldn't that put you right back to sleep reading?
I think it's when I'm the most awake and or sober. So it's like, oh, cool. Like,
oh, turn up. Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
sometimes at night you crush a glass of wine or 4 beers. It's like, yeah, you're like, all right,
Time to go try to drunk read.
literally.
Yeah.
Like the words are all like hazy. That's so funny.
And this spins with my Kindle.
Yeah, is it a Kindle spinning or is it my vision?
No, I feel that 5:30. That's
Yeah, it's
know,
kind of
I
it's a little bit tough. Yeah.
I respect. What time do you have to actually be at work?
I get in around 9.
That's cool. If I had to work mornings, 9's a good time.
Yeah.
I
It's
agree.
kind of it's not that late. It's kind of
No.
normal. Everybody's kind of there and you're
The
like,
sun's
sick.
out.
Yeah, the sun's out.
I hate a coworker who it's like 6 o'clock and they go, "Why are you so sleepy? Why, I already worked out today. I already did this."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, your trophy's in the back.
That's right.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I do those things, but I don't like gloat about that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Oh, yeah, that was me gloating, actually.
that was kind of a
Yeah.
sub gloat.
No, just kidding.
I do all that, but I don't talk about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. But it's kind of
Okay.
like, I don't know. It's kind of like, did you do it if you didn't tell people? So,
It's very true.
yeah.
It's super true.
When flight attendants enter or a crew enter the plane, it's like, do you have like a list of things to check out? Or or is it, oh, we're ready to go, bring on the travelers?
You have to check things. So you have to make sure you have to check for the presence of certain items. So just to make sure that's on there. And then also sometimes you have to check to make sure things haven't not expired, but there's dates that certain things have to be serviced. Make sure things are working, make sure your microphone PA system works. And then also there's like safety, so you check, or security, I should say. So check to make sure there's no prohibited items on board. Check to make sure everything's sealed that should be sealed, and that. So typically, that takes about, I could do all my checks in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, but
It's not like this like long, extenuous like
No, not at all.
Okay.
And once you do it, when I first started, it would take me a little bit of time to figure it out because
It's your first time and
first
stuff.
time
Yeah.
I probably was like a bad flight attendant for like a year.
Mm.
Like my first year was probably not good.
Most people were probably not that great at
They-
their jobs their first year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first year, it probably took me like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then even then, I wasn't sure if I was right.
I've been there
Yeah.
where you're like, I don't get it. I don't know.
I go, it looks good.
Yeah. It looks good to me. Yeah. My training says it's good.
Yeah, my training says that this liquor kit, it's good to go.
Yeah. It's not expired. It's not the Blackout Four Locos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
I heard that Spirit was serving buzz balls.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it's true or not.
It's like, yeah, if you are going to fly Spirit, you're like, I need to.
You need to have at least like a level 5 buzz.
Literally.
Or be slightly
Or
cross-faded.
the big ones, a buzz ball, they have like the bomb or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That's so funny to
Yeah.
me.
The buzz ball, but it's like half a gallon.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm in.
If I would fly just about any airline if you gave me that huge, massive buzz ball. I wouldn't even care.
Yeah, pass it.
Yeah, put me in the cargo hold after that. thing.
Literally.
I wouldn't even care past it.
Wait, a cargo hold. What is that?
That's just like where they put the luggage and stuff down
Oh,
below.
gotcha.
It's just the plane, the bottom of it drops out, and that's like in the movie Passenger 57. I think there's like a fictional way to get from the
Main
cabin to the cargo hold. That's not true.
I was gonna ask, are there any like
No.
secret like compartments or like there are like pictures of people like or flight attendants sleeping in like this
A crew bunk?
sure or whatever.
We don't have those, but like major, like the long haul
Mm.
people do.
Gotcha.
I mean, our longest flight is for 6 hours.
Okay.
If you can't be at work for 6 hours and not sleep, you have bigger issues. But like the flight to Singapore that I'm going to be taking, that's 17 hours.
Mm.
And my sister's friend, she works for United, and she said that on that 17-hour flight, the flight attendants get to sleep for 6 hours.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you're getting paid.
And you're getting paid.
Nice.
sleep.
Yeah.
And you can be on your phone, you can eat, you can do whatever you want in those crew bunks. I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't have. But yeah, they get to sleep and just hang out and get paid.
With your training, I think one time you had kind of mentioned a few years ago when we were talking about it, you had like you're trained to like take people down, right? Like if somebody is like being like
A threat?
a threat or like whatever,
Yeah.
like you're like I
You-
will control you.
You protect and serve.
Yeah, literally.
But no, I mean the priority is you want to keep passengers safe and you want to just keep everybody safe.
Mhm.
And so there are, tools you can use on board to mitigate threats. But so that is part of your training is it's a big portion. I think a lot of people, they think what we are there to do is just serve drinks and
Mhm.
serve snacks and meals and stuff. But there's a lot more that goes into it. So yeah, there are cuffs on the plane if you need them,
Yeah.
but hopefully you don't need them. I've never needed them.
Okay, nice.
Thank God.
Is there like what is that, like a flight marshal guy?
An air marshal.
Air marshal guy, like a secret guy on every flight? Is that what I've
No,
heard?
not every flight.
Is that
Um,
you can wink or something if you
Oh.
you're holding your eyes completely open.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no air marshal. Gotcha.
yeah.
You're like
I'm an air marshal. No,
Oh.
I'm just kidding. But no, not every flight.
okay.
I
so-
mean, certain city pairings or certain times they are more prone to have an air marshal on, but it's not every flight.
Mm.
I think I probably have seen 10 air marshals in my life.
Oh, okay. So it's like really
So-
infrequent.
Pretty infrequent, but also I don't go to places where, where you would think air marshals would be going. Like, I think Denver
I didn't even.
has a lot of air marshals. Actually, I would say of the 10 times I've seen air marshals, 5 of them have been in Denver.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
But yeah, the air marshals are trained. They don't get involved. Like if a passenger was like giving me a hard time, they're not going to get involved. They're there for bigger purposes.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, if someone's bullying me, they're just probably just gonna like watch.
Yeah. They
Maybe pull out
jump
some
in.
popcorn. They jump in. Yeah.
Literally.
They're like, and your outfit sucks too. I'm like,
Like, okay, I really
oh my
tried today. Yeah.
god.
Something that I've always been kind of curious about flight attendants is like, do you have like a structure in terms of like career growth? Like, what does like each year bring? Like, do you have like potential for?
In terms of like it being a long-term career, or like, so some people I know, like flight attendants, actually my friend Jordan, who I'm buddy bidding with, she wants to go to flight school and become a pilot.
Okay,
So it's a foot in the door, but some people, I fully see myself doing this for the rest of my life. It's like
cool.
the best job. I love it. But there's a lot of growth, but typically once you start the job, you don't really get more like tasks or responsibilities.
That's
The
what I
job
mean,
is
yeah.
changing, but you don't like take on more responsibility. You still have to do your same job,
Mhm.
but it's not like certain airlines you can become a purser, or an international purser, or
Mm.
you get qualified to work, I don't know, to certain countries and whatnot. With us, my particular airline that I work for, it's you do the job 1 year and you do it the same job 25 years later.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, I mean you get more money though.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
You do get, yeah, every year. We just got a new contract. You do get so like my on August 19th I get a raise
Okay,
every year,
6th year.
and then cola adjustments. But so I mean people who you typically at my airline you top out at 13 years.
Okay, I see. And then from there, no more raises and stuff like that.
Cola adjustment,
Oh yeah, okay.
but no more like raises.
Gotcha.
I think at 25 years you start to get experience pay.
Mm.
So I'll tell you all about that in 20 years.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, 19 years.
19 years. 19
and
and a half years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. If you were to do like, is it easy for you to like transition between like where you're currently working versus like another airline? Like, do you have
I
friends that
know.
do that? You know?
Yeah, I've known a few people that it just kind of depends what you want to work. So I like to work what I was telling you about, like domestic,
Hmm.
West Coast. I have no desire to work an international flight. Like okay, Cabo is international. I have no desire to go to like Australia while
Like
working.
transatlantic or
Transatlantic.
transpacific.
I
Yeah.
have friends who have gone to legacy carriers because they do want to work international flights, and that's great for them. In terms of transitioning, you do have to redo all of your training.
Whoa.
So another 4 weeks plus whatever. So 6 weeks. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Too cold. Yeah. We threw out the fleece lined
It's
jacket
too.
already.
I don't have my
Yeah.
Eddie Bauer fleece anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do this again. But no, some people, it depends what you want. If you want to work international, if you want, I like to be in the U.S. time zones.
Mhm.
I can go to the East Coast. I'll go to Hawaii, whatever. I don't want to have to work and go to Australia for 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's hard on your body.
It is. And time zone changes. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I mean, even sometimes I get jet lag after like 3 hours.
Mm. Like, where am I?
Yeah.
It's like, is it the is it the
Yeah.
blackout 4 logo,
Is it,
or is
oh
it
my,
my
oh my
or is it the
God.
time
what-
zone?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's awesome.
But no, I feel like, do you think because how long ago did you and Liz go to Asia?
April 2023.
Did you think the jet lag getting there wasn't that bad? Maybe I'm not remembering it correctly, but I feel like coming back, did you feel like you got hit by a train?
Both were bad.
Could
for
you
us.
imagine doing that like
for your job?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
So people go, "Oh my God, I want to go to Tokyo for 24 hours." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to feel like I want to die for half of that."
Yeah, literally.
So-
for 12 of those.
It's time to go tear up the city for 5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll
then-
stay in Minneapolis. Thank
Oh,
you so much.
Yeah, I love Indianapolis.
I love Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
I've never. Okay, I was gonna say I don't think I've heard of Lubbock, Texas.
Why would you have?
Exactly.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
Very nice people though. But so do you see like why I like going internationally? I
Yeah.
wouldn't. It has no appeal to me, but different strokes, different folks. The career aviation needs all types of people that want to work all types of stuff. Some of my coworkers love to work East Coast AM long hauls.
Mm.
I typically don't get along with those people, but
Susan.
Sue's
Suze.
don't even say that.
Yeah.
She said the S word. Um, but then there's people that look at what I do and the flights that I work and they go, I would never do that. I go, cool, more for me, Bonnie. Thanks so
Yep.
much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, I understand. In the sense of like, hey, you like what you like.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah.
everybody likes to do like I typically fly A position, so I'm up front and I do the announcements and
Oh, cool.
I like to greet people. That's what I like to do. Some people like to fly C position, which is you have less responsibility. That's what they like to work. Again, different strokes, different folks.
The announcements, do you like make jokes and stuff, or are you kind of like not?
When the time warrants.
Okay.
I'm not the one that has the set list of jokes and things like that. Because the thing is, the passengers like them, your coworkers hate them. Because you have to hear the same shit every day, 3 legs a day, and their eyes are rolling. And we all discuss them amongst each other. Like, oh, have you worked with so and so? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with the sorry about the landing, folks. It's not the pilot's fault. It's not the plane's fault. It's the asphalt. Oh my God.
That's so funny.
It's just, if you hear the same stuff over and over, it's just, it gets tiresome.
I'm scared because that is who I am. I make the same joke.
Really?
And so like, but with different crowds.
You don't
And
get
so
fresh
like,
content?
I mean, I do over time, but it's not like every time. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so if you work with the same coworkers every day, how do you use the same jokes?
Like, so I work with my coworkers, but we have like adjacent teams. So I'll like banter with them, and
Oh.
I'll say like, and sometimes so I'll test out a joke with my team, and then depending on how they react, I'm like, all right, we're gonna try it.
You get the real material. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see you being a good flight attendant.
Oh, thanks. It's kind of
If
energetic.
if your current job doesn't work out for you, I think you'd do great. And then you and Liz would fly for free everywhere.
Ooh.
Well, not for
So
free,
by
but
standby, right?
it is standby. So
Gotcha.
that is true. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you get like +1s on those, or whatever? Like your parents get to fly it
My
too?
parents.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so you get one companion that gets to fly on my airline for free whenever they want. It's standby. But internationally, like, it's only my parents.
Gotcha.
Or if I had children, my kids too.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good benefit. It's honestly the best benefit.
Going back to just like general career growth and opportunities, what is kind of like the pay like for a flight attendant? Is it like hourly? Are you salaried?
So we are paid in a system as like I think a lot of people kind of have a general idea. They go, well, you don't get paid until the door shuts, which actually is true. But my particular airline, we are paid on it's called a TFP system. So it's a trip for pay. So meaning that like for a 3-day trip, I will get paid at least 19 and a half hours. It's 6.5 hours per day. As that system that I was referring to you earlier. So starting TFP is really not that much. I did have to work a second job when I first got hired, just because. But that's like I feel like it's putting in your dues.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you also get less hours or something?
No, you can work as much. So legally per the FAA, you can work I believe 6 days in a row.
Okay.
So what's 19 and a half times 2?
20 times 2, 40, 39.
39. So you could work 39 hours every single week for 4 weeks. That's what you get paid in a month.
Okay.
But hourly, there's like steps. So it's your first 6 months, you make X amount of money. And then after you're off probation, then you start making a little bit more. And then I'm at what's called step 5 pay. So it takes time, but once you get to a point where you're like topped out, you make like good money. I'm not close to there, but some of the senior ladies I work with,
they're kind of rolling.
they show up, go to Maui once a week.
Wow.
They do a Maui and a Honolulu trip once a week, and they're making 6 figures.
Wow, nice.
It's crazy. But they put their time in. They've been here a very long time. They've earned it.
What is the starting ish ballpark? Like,
so
are there ranges too? And then like what You said like after 13 hours, you get like a multiplier or something like that.
Yes. So right now, my current pay rate at 5 years is I make 48.53 an hour.
Nice.
But that's not like, as I said, that's when the door shuts to when.
Hmm.
So a flight for reference, like a flight from Phoenix to Baltimore, the company blocks it at 6 hours. So 48.53 times 6 just to work that leg.
Okay.
However, let's say I get to Baltimore and I have to sit on the ground for 2 hours. I'm not making 48.53 an hour then.
Mm.
I'm making just my per diem, which is like 2.83 an hour. So
$2.83.
yeah.
Okay, nice.
So I'm doing that. I'm just sitting there for 2 hours. I'm not getting paid.
Mm.
So do you see, like, it pays really well when you're behind the closed doors or behind the aircraft doors shut, but when you're just kind of sitting on the ground, or I don't get paid the second I check into there for my for work.
Mm.
You know, I don't know. I think, are you salary?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you show up to work, you're getting paid.
Exactly.
But for me, when I clock in, I don't start getting paid.
Exactly. Yeah. Interesting.
It's so. I mean, typically my schedule, I try to work 100 hours a month, which doesn't sound like that much, but that's like purely time of me being on an aircraft.
100 hours on the plane.
On the plane.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I could spend.
What is that per week? What,
I
100
don't
by
know.
4 or
Don't
something?
do the math.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't do it.
I work 25
20?
hours a week.
Oh, yeah, 25-ish.
That's not bad once I say it out loud.
But it's like 25 like in the air though. Like you
Yeah.
have time to you have to get there, you have to
Yep.
wait. There's a
Yep.
lot of waiting.
A lot of waiting. If you board up a plane and the door's not shut,
Mm-hmm.
I'm babysitting.
Yeah.
For $2.83 an hour.
Nice.
Whatever. It
Dichotomy or whatever the word is.
Yep.
Okay.
It's balance. We got a new contract recently, and so we're getting paid far more now than we were when I first started.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Mhm.
A lot of people argue that we need to get paid from the second that we clock in. I agree. But typically right now, per our standard right now, I get paid it's called a DHR. It's a duty hour ratio. So ours is 0.74, meaning that I will get compensated for every 1 hour, I will get paid 0.74 hours.
Okay.
It's very complicated.
So your 100 hours is really 74 hours type thing?
No, actually, let's do the math on that. So my 100 hours is actually 0.74 of what I'm actually working. So flip it. So I'm actually working a lot more than 100.
Oh. Okay.
I can't do the math. Oh my God, where's that accounting degree? But yeah, so I'm actually working a lot more than 100. That's just what I'm getting paid for.
Oh,
is 100 because I don't get paid for sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, right. You want 100 hours of behind closed doors, but you're really working 120 hours, but it's
Correct.
120 times 0.74 gets you to your goal number.
Bingo.
Whatever
Yes.
that is. So, something like that.
You figured it out, Steve. You figured it out for me because that's
Nice.
exactly what I was trying to say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm tracking. Nice.
So you can see where the controversy kind of stems in of people saying you only get paid, what other career do you only get paid for 0.75 of what you're actually doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's true, but I get to fly for free.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
I was actually gonna ask you what perks do you get and I'm kind of curious to know how what's the
It
setup
weighs out, man.
Yeah.
So you fly for free for standby. We get 20% off guaranteed tickets on my particular airline, but I don't get discounts at other airlines. I can get standby tickets, but you do pay taxes.
Mm.
So for example, I went to London 2 years ago, and it was a nonstop. It was Phoenix to London, and I paid $98 for it.
Oh my God, nice.
But flying domestically on my airline, I don't pay anything.
Okay.
Free 99.
Free 99.
Free 99.
My favorite F word.
Uh-huh. And then you can do I went from Munich. So this one this one was a banger. We did Madrid to LA, and I had a whole row to myself. It was standby though, but you can check and kind of game what your chances are of getting on a flight. This particular flight, Madrid to LA, had 137 seats open. So I said, yeah, I'm going to take my chances on that.
Mm.
And I paid $116 for that ticket.
Oh my God. To Madrid.
Madrid to LA.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, home. Okay, gotcha.
Home, coming home. So I think the biggest perk of the job is cheap travel.
Mm. Do you have like travel credit cards and like can you use that stuff for like hotels? Because you're also in hotels all the time, right?
Yep, I have the Marriott credit card.
Okay.
My particular airline, we stay at Marriott's probably the most, I would say. So when I check in, granted the airline pays for my room, but if I want to buy myself dinner or whatnot, I put my credit card down on the room. And I think with Marriott, you get, I'm all sponsored. You get
Literally.
you get like 6 times the points per dollar spent.
Okay, cool.
And so I just rack up these points.
Yeah.
And I did Munich for 5 days for free. I did
Oh my
LA for
God,
2 days
nice.
for free just with my airline or my hotel points.
Mm-hmm.
So you couple that with the travel benefits and
It's like you can go anywhere. Yeah.
cheap. But again, it's all standby. So standby is it rocks until it doesn't.
Yeah.
Until you get
You and your friend and you're like,
and so you
well,
get kicked off of 6 different flights and then it doesn't work anymore. And you're
literally.
like, I just want to go home.
Right.
I'm so over this. You're like, I don't give a shit that I paid $80 for this
Yeah.
ticket. I just
I'm over it.
I'll pay $1,700. Just get me out of this Roman airport.
What is that? Cut the show.
Yeah,
Cut the show.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
That's so funny.
Send me home, man.
But you also get per diem, you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
So the per diem's non-taxable. So that's probably that adds up the most, I would say.
Oh wait, is that stuff you get pocketed or is it reimbursed?
Pocketed.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's on a paycheck. We get it.
Gotcha.
So you see your per diem that you've worked, it's again, don't quote me on this. I think it's like $2.95 an hour, $2.85.
Oh, an hour. Interesting.
Every hour that you're gone from base.
Hmm.
So the second I clock in until the second my trip blocks out, I'm getting paid $2.89 an hour on
Gotcha.
top of my hourly rate.
Okay, I see.
So, yeah, that's a perk also. What's another perk of the job? Seeing new places and I mean, I get a hotel.
Exploring.
Yeah,
Do you explore
exploring.
much? Like with your coworkers? Do you do it solo? Sometimes both, depending on if it's Susie or
if it's Susie, I'm doing what's called slam clicking, and I'm locking myself in my room until it's time to go to the lobby.
I'm clicking that lock.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hear the door slam, and you hear,
Yeah.
and you won't see me again for 16 hours. But if a coworker is fun or like a group is fun, like I was in Portland a few weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, and my coworker comes on the plane. I hadn't even met this person yet. And she goes, hey, I don't know if you like Portland or not, but I'm going to rent a car and I want to drive to Cannon Beach. Are you down? I said, does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? Yeah, of course I'm down.
Hell yeah.
And our other coworker was also down and we had so much fun. We got in at like 10:30 in the morning and we went to the rental car center, drove to Tillamook, had lunch,
Sick.
and then went to Cannon Beach. And so those are examples of overnights where you really just, it's like a paid vacation. But also there's overnights where I'm spending, I think our legal overnight time is like 10 hours. So you are done with work and you go to, maybe not the best airport hotel in Long Beach. And you just go there, shower, sleep, wake back up, go back to work. And you're sleeping like maybe 7 hours.
Yeah.
It's really not very long. So there's flip sides. If you have a long overnight in a cool city, go and do what you want, explore, have fun. But like tomorrow, my friend Allie, she's gonna come to the hotel in Denver, and she's gonna hang out at the hotel. We're gonna DoorDash food and
sick.
hang out, and it's fun because it's sleepover with your friends at a hotel. But also, there's some overnights where it's not very fun, time wise, hotel wise, coworker wise, all kinds of stuff.
Gotcha.
A lot of factors. Like I said, I think I have a good time more often than not, but there's some overnights where I'm getting done at 2:00 in the morning. I should be back on the plane by 1 p.m.
You're like, I'm gonna snooze and then
I wake up sometimes, I don't know where I am. That's scary.
That kind of is.
Like you wake
Like
up,
like you wake up in a jolt,
you wake up in a jolt, and I look around and I go, "Whose curtains are those?"
literally.
And I go, "Oh my god!" Or you don't like recognize the alarm clock, and you look
Mm,
over at it and you see foreign numbers, and you're like 5:25. I'm like, "Oh my god, did I oversleep? Is it 5:25 p.m.?"
mm.
It's 5:25 a.m. But I don't recognize the alarm clock. I
Yeah.
don't know things like that.
Yeah, you said foreign numbers, and I was like, I thought numbers were kind of the same.
No, I know,
I
right?
was like,
But
oh,
it's
that's cool.
numbers. It's numbers on a foreign alarm clock.
Oh, tracking.
It's
Yeah.
not my alarm clock.
Right.
There we go. But I look over and I go, "What?"
Like your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's you waking up in a different place, or you like forget there's an ottoman somewhere, and you walk into that when you're going to use the
Smash
restroom
like
in the
your
middle of the
leg, and you're
night.
like, beautiful.
Yep.
Yep.
My shins have taken a few diggers
Yeah.
just because I don't recognize the bed frame.
Literally.
Yeah.
It hurts so bad.
I don't know. It's a platform bed, so I just roll out, smack myself.
Or like there's like a weird thing, and you like smash your toe underneath the bed, and you're like, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
Feels great in my heeled boots the next day.
All right, I gotta ask it. All right, this is kind of crazy.
What?
Do you all right? Do you have any like thoughts about like plane stuff going on right now? Is that like all the talk?
Oh.
Boeing doors, and you're like,
Yeah.
there's some stuff going on. It seems.
I don't know, people. Here's the thing is like, you don't hear about in aviation right now, it's such a hot topic that every single thing that happens, like routine maintenance issues, Boeing tire popped on this plane, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But because of the state right now, of the state of aviation right now, you hear about every single thing that's happening. Do you hear about every single car accident that happens in Arizona all the time? And does it scare you from driving?
Right.
It's kind of the same thing. Unfortunately, in aviation, one thing happens, now people are following it like a hawk, watching it like a hawk. And you start to hear about every single thing. The door was crazy. Like there's no way around that.
Bro.
That was crazy.
Yeah, literally.
It's not funny, but it was crazy.
Oh, true. Right.
Yeah. But it's people start to become so finely attuned to hearing about it that news outlets prey on that stuff.
True. Yeah.
And they hear one thing and they just jump on it. But it's like flying is ultimately safer than driving.
Yeah.
There is a certain risk in doing everything. Sorry. There's a certain risk in doing everything. There's a certain risk in driving. There's a certain risk in flying. There's a certain risk in going on a cruise ship. There's risks to everything. But flying it's pretty safe.
Yeah. Completely
and
agree.
there's one-offs that happen all the time. It's gonna happen, but I think aviation it is safe, but it is scary. I understand.
Yeah.
But the Boeing door thing, that was crazy.
And under like magnifying glass, right?
Yep.
It's like, yep.
It's everyone's looking at it under a magnifying glass. But I feel very safe at work.
Nice. Yeah, I was just curious about what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
If y'all are always talking to each other about that stuff, and you're like,
No, honestly, we don't talk about it a lot at work. Just because.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Also,
you don't want to come to work and be scared.
Literally.
And have a bad attitude. I try to remain very positive at work.
right here, positive mental attitude.
Yeah, is that what that says?
Yeah. PMA. Do you have any words of advice or anything for people who are interested in becoming a flight attendant?
Believe what you say in your interview, because they ask you, it's so funny because it's like a mantra amongst flight attendants. It's, I love people, I love commuting, and I love to travel. And so sometimes people, like, you joke with one another, and like if I'm having a really bad day, I look at my coworker and I go, I love people, I love to travel, and I love commuting. And they go, yeah, totally, because we all said the same exact thing.
Mhm.
But you really have to mean it. And
Yeah.
you really have to know what you're getting into. The hours aren't going to be the best. People aren't going to be the best sometimes. But it's important to be resilient and know why you started. If you don't like customer service, absolutely do not become a flight attendant, because that's when you start to become that flight attendant that people go, why is she even working here right now?
Mhm.
If you hate people so much, why are you on a metal tube with them? And it is true. I love customer service. I truly do love all aspects of my job. I like having different coworkers every day. I like the travel benefits. I enjoy
Work
customer
flexibility.
service. I like my flexibility. I love so much about my job, but you take the good with the bad. And if you're not willing to be flexible, if you're not willing to look on the bright side. If you are someone who needs to be the judge, the juror, and the executioner in your everyday workplace, it's not for you. Because again, you become that flight attendant where it's like, why is she here?
Yeah, literally.
Like, why don't you go work a remote job for, I don't know, Amazon? Why don't you go be a cashier at somewhere else? Just anywhere but here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just like if you really want to do it and you want to do it for the right reasons, don't become the flight attendant that goes, I'm just here for the travel benefits, because those people are the worst to work with. If you're here for the travel benefits and also to be friendly and to like explore, great. I want to work with you.
Nice.
But I don't want to work with someone bitter who's just here because they want a $90 ticket to London.
Yeah. Hear that, Suze?
Yeah, Susie.
Yeah, we're done with you.
Susan.
All right. Positive mental attitude.
PMA.
PMA. That's sick.
But yeah, pretty much that's just what I would say. 5 years in, when I first started, I didn't even know what I was getting into, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change a single thing. I have cried in several airports, but that's unrelated.
That's so funny.
I've cried in several airports.
Nice.
I think I cried in a closet in the Oakland airport one time.
Cool. Like the secret TSA one that
It was
we're not
a
allowed to use.
baggage. It was
Oh,
a
cool.
baggage one. It was for flight attendants, and I cried in there.
Nice.
And then I think someone walked in on me crying, and they promptly walked out.
Yeah. You're like,
Sorry.
hey, it's in use right
To
now.
that person
Yeah, you have to book
who
your
had
own.
to get their luggage later. I'm really sorry, but
Yeah.
thank you for being understanding.
Or maybe they were trying to get their cry on too.
We could have cried together.
Yeah, literally.
Oh. But yeah, I've 5.5 years in again. I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on and letting us know a little bit more about what it's like being a flight attendant.
Thank you for having me.
And that concludes today's episode. If you have any questions about what it's like being a flight attendant, please leave them in the comments below. And if you are a flight attendant, we want to hear from you too.